All right, so you guys have been traveling from Osberg, returning to Falnor. As we get closer to Falnor, I am going to need everybody to make an insight check.
Here's my did.
Why is there
All right.
fight music?
Why is it leave? Why does it leave? Oh, there. I was
There's
like,
music.
why does it just disappear?
Oh, cool. It
I turned
finally
the music.
saved.
There we go. I keep on forgetting to do music stuff.
He
All
keeps
right.
on forgetting.
All right.
Wrote
So you
down
guys,
what's allowed.
nobody noticed anything untowards. You all arrive on the outskirts of Falnor. Uh, I will say, Alina, there is a lot more like troop activity than there was when you left. You're met by scouts just outside the city range. They just sort of see you, and they are glad that you are safe. They're surprised you returned so quickly, and they offer to escort you back to the keep.
I will gladly take their company.
All right. They lead you back to Falnor. Let's see. Did I have activate? All right. You guys return back there. You are you are announced. Somebody goes to fetch the one of the family people. Uh, as you are led up, oh my gods, did I really forget everything? Motherfucker. Give me a second. I need to redo my notes. Redo my notes. What am I doing here? Oh my gods, what am I doing here? I
We're being
forgot.
led by
All right.
Kermit the Frog.
We're being led by Kermit the Frog. It is terrible. Okay, here we go. Uh, as you are led in, the first member of House Alenthe to meet you is Rowan, and he you see him sort of half jog, like moving very quickly indoors into the sort of entryway to the castle. Look up, see you guys, and immediately run towards you.
Roll initiative.
Uh,
Rowan.
he goes to just like grab you up in a hug, Alina.
Okay. Okay. I do that. It's in the movies where like it's kind of stiff because I'm
Yeah,
surprised, but like
I was so worried. I was so worried.
people have gone to into the Knowlands. Rowan, what is happening?
You didn't. Uh, a few days after you left, scouts reported a large force of gnolls heading south. We were worried that they had intercepted you. We sent on some scouts ahead to try and warn you, maybe get you to turn back, and they did find the scenes of a battle. None of you were there, obviously, but there were many dead gnolls. We're glad that you're safe.
Well, we're all right.
Did Squeeb come back
Yeah,
to us out of character?
come in, and he
Squeeb went with everybody else,
no,
right?
he went north.
Did he tell us
He
to
went with
tell them
everybody
that
else. Yeah.
he's dead? Just to make
No,
sure that.
he did not seem in any way concerned about the opinion of anybody else but you guys.
I have a thought on how to
What a
explain
legend.
Squeeb.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll leave that to
Uh,
you then.
yeah. Rowan does a head count, doesn't really seem to notice that Squeeb's not here, and leads the rest of you guys to the war room. Like he does not ask. He made sure Alina was here. He made sure the rest of her war band was here, and then he is leading you guys into the war room.
I follow.
Uh, both the lord and lady of the castle are in the war room already. They look up. The Marquis Albus lets out a sigh of relief. Ursula does not seem like she was worried about you at all. The doors are shut behind you, and Rowan turns and says, "Yes, no, it's probably one of the largest forces of gnolls that we've seen mustered on the plains. They're heading directly south and crossing where you guys traveled. Did you not encounter them? It was." Ursula's like, "Calm down, boy. Sit. Report, Alina."
We made our way into the Knoll Lands. We came across, we skirted several smaller parties. We ran across a larger party. We engaged in combat. Things were settled peacefully. We continued on our way.
He raises an eyebrow at that.
I'm just as shocked as you are. We made our way farther into the Knoll Lands. We made our way to that one place that I've already forgotten the name of. Alina wouldn't, but I did.
Augsburg.
We made our way into Augsburg. Augsburg is controlled by, frankly, some of the most horrifying trolls I've ever seen in my whole life. We then ran into a party of. Are they Dreadwolves? Was that what they said? I
Iron
wrote it
Wolves.
down somewhere. Iron Wolves. Into a party of Iron Wolves. And communications got hairy.
The Marquis looks a bit concerned about that. Ursula just like scoffs. Just like, yep, Iron Wolves, that sounds right. I see that there were no casualties. Where's Squeeb?
Squeeb, in our expedition of Osberg, we stumbled upon a fellow Squeeb knew from his scouting. He asked for our help. Squeeb is currently taking him to a safe.
Go ahead and make a deception check.
I mean, that's mostly true.
It is mostly true. It is still admitting the truth. You can, if you want to make a persuasion, you certainly can.
I'd rather make a persuasion.
Okay, go ahead and make a persuasion. Will Squeeb be returning?
I don't think so.
Well, he got you in and out safely. That's all I could really ask for. At least he's not dead, I guess. So you guys were able to... Did you accomplish your objective?
We did.
Good. And what happened with the Iron Wolves? Do we know what their objective was in there? They wouldn't be there for no reason.
In defending in helping Squeeb's friend, we came across a laboratory. A horrifying. And Alina will allow her face to be shaken. Like, she will look shaken. That was a lot of blood in there. It was pretty gross. A laboratory that did unspeakable things to beings who did not deserve it. They were after the notes.
The Marquis will ask you, like, what do you mean by beings?
They're people. People. They're people. I think they're people. Alina thinks they're people.
Okay.
Just because they're an amalgamation of different animals doesn't mean they're not people. They're gods, but I'm not gonna say that.
If they can party, they're people.
Was Abel wanted to add anything, or was that Thur?
Well, I was gonna make a comment about, I think we haven't encountered very much fantasy racism except against, like, the gnolls. and I guess the
No,
the
not really.
hobgoblins. So I think you could probably, just say they were doing horrific experimentals on people. I think Abel would also bring up that there was the facility was being run by a ghost, uh, which is, and we put that heresy down.
Hmm. That's quite disturbing. Wizards.
But I made a judgment call, my lord and lady. I wanted to see that place destroyed so the heresy would not spread. The Iron Wolves wanted the heresy for themselves. We had a disagreement. No one was killed.
That's
Deception.
Yeah, that's not true.
Oh shit! The lady was killed.
Yeah.
One person was definitely killed.
Sorry, I would not say that then.
Okay.
Unfortunately, a heresy of its own. Not of her own. Well, it was her own making. What was the lady's name? Dark Mist?
Dark Mist was
The
knight.
leader of the party's name was Dark Mist. Yeah, the girl who was killed was my set.
One of the slaves of the leader of the Dark, of the Iron Wolves, was unfortunately killed. But none of the Iron Wolves themselves were injured. We were able to talk to two of them. Their leader would not see reason.
You know which band of Iron Wolves it was?
Headed by Lady Darkmist.
Ursula Ursula looks at her husband, because it's her husband's job to keep track of all that. He's like, I believe that would be the Blackstaves. Lady Darkmist has quite the pull in Avency. Ursula's like, ah. Well, it's good you didn't kill her. Probably
She
would have been
fled.
fine if you did. Oh, good.
She fled before we could.
That's quite a feather in your cap. Need to discuss with the princess whether we want to make that known for your reputation, but you were able to best decorated. She looks at her husband. Decorated band of Iron Wolves. Good. She sort of thinks a bit. Looks at you and it's like, is the heresy something that we should summon one of the bishops about? Or is this something you'd prefer to bring back to the archbishops yourselves?
I think I would prefer to bring this to the Archbishop.
Noted. Well, good. Your mission was successful. Ideally, we'd have you rendezvous with the princess at Fort Aldrim immediately. But you look tired. Go ahead and rest the night. As for what's been occurring here ever since we found that army moving south, we mustered our forces for defense and realized they weren't coming for us. Our scouts believe that they are going even further south towards Lothram.
Wait, didn't the princess go to Lothram?
The princess is going to be going to Lothram. Where's there? Let me get on the right map.
I cannot speak for my companions, but I would feel much more comfortable if I rode out to the princess. Now.
Actually, the Nolands one.
Not to cut too fine a point, but you absolutely can speak for us. We all swore to that.
I know, but I'm polite!
Yes,
I'm not going to push my people.
The princess is currently at Fort Andream. They were planning to rendezvous with you and then head as a group to Fort Cairgard, where the Marquis is waiting.
Why is Owen back?
Why is Owen back? What?
Owen's on the board.
Where?
Right below us.
Right there.
I legitimately don't see what you mean.
All right. Well, your deception check is failing because I can see him. He's right there.
All right. Oh, the fuck? Do I have you guys on the Knoll lands? Do I bring you to the Knoll lands?
I'm on the Nolans, but I
We're
had to
on the
reload.
big map.
Now we're on Aventicuum.
Oh, okay, that's why.
He's
Okay.
right below all our pictures. Listen, if he wants to hang out, he can hang out.
As long as he promises
There
to
we go.
not be a booty hole.
No, you should be at the Knoll
He
lands.
makes no promises, and you know that.
Who is still on Aventicuum?
I moved back. Can't be told.
Okay, so that is full to scene. I was switching them around so much that I guess some people got left behind. Okay, Knoll lands. I was trying to figure out which map best showed since I haven't finished the
Looks
one
like-
for
Oh, never mind.
Lothrop. All right, yeah. So that was just to be, yeah. And that was also that was Puck. So yeah, so the princess is currently at Fort Andream, and you guys were supposed to meet her and then travel together with the Iron Star to Fort Cairgard, where the Marquis of Lord Vincent von Esden was waiting. Well, not waiting. You guys were going to give him the Iron Star in a attempt to get him to support the princess's bid. So, yeah, if you guys are all requesting to head out now instead.
I would look at everyone else, gauge their reaction.
It's fine.
Thumbs up.
Abel, how are you feeling?
You guys all had a long rest, by the way, like multiple long rests. So
Yeah, if we've had long rests, then I think it's fine. I'm on a long rest.
Yeah,
For
press the button.
realsies. You said multiple long rests?
Yeah.
Okay.
It took like a week to get here, like 5
Yep.
days.
Yes, I would prefer if we left now. Especially with the interesting things we've seen on our way. Our places with the prince. My place.
Yeah, they sort of look at you and it's like, very well. Not sure. I believe we have a carriage here for you. We can give that to hopefully make the journey a bit quicker.
I appreciate it. And I promise next time I'll stay a little longer. And she smiles at them.
Let's hope so. We'll be as the princess's representative, with knowledge that there is a Knoll army potentially headed for Fort Cairgard, where she hopes to have a diplomatic meeting with the Marquis there. What do you recommend we do with our forces that are not needed for immediate defense?
This is out of character. So, because my thought process is we've already talked. Our presence in Lothram
Mhm.
might be a good dissuading factor on the Knoll army because this is the one we talked to, right? This is the priest man.
No, the priest mentioned there was somebody else who is in charge of the South things, and that they're a bit of a warmonger. You spoke with a bone chewer. They warned you of blood gargle.
Blood gargle.
We've been thinking of boring ass names. We could have gone with Blood Gargle.
Ooh,
I love Knoll names, man.
keep as many forces as it would take to keep you safe. But if I could request as many men as you're willing to spare.
They will
So
follow. Yeah, they will follow after you then. And she says that like doesn't make any move to give anybody orders. You kind of figure she already did that and is kind of just asking for permission afterwards.
hell yeah, I love her.
All right. She sort of looks around. Is there anything else to report?
Is there anything else to report, team?
Not that I know of.
We got the mace. Did we say that?
Mm-hmm.
We got it. We killed the ghost.
We did kill a ghost.
Yep.
We did.
I
We
will
said
say
where Squeeb went.
this world doesn't have a concept of trolls, so you said that monsters were infesting it instead, just to keep consistent and stuff. I don't think they would ask you anything else, but yeah, if there's nothing else, they will, you're free to go.
Yeah, as soon as that is done, Alina would bow, turn on her heel, and be marching towards the stable.
All right. As you leave, there is already a carriage fully prepped and prepared for you. Is all ready to go with like new provisions and stuff. Inside is also a packed for travel but hot meal for each of you. So
Ooh.
Can the carriage fit all of us?
it can fit everybody except for you could probably squeeze Marrow in there. Wouldn't be comfy. It'd be fine for Marrow. It'd be uncomfortable for the rest of you because there'd be like Marrow in the middle with like spikes all over him.
But we
With
couldn't
Marrow
fit Scrap
alongside.
and Dirt.
You can fit 6 people in the cart. Scrap and Dirt can stay in Marrow's shadow, so I don't count Scrap and Dirt.
I don't want to wedge us in there. But I also don't want to leave Marrow outside.
Why can't Marrow be outside?
I would
Previously,
Marrow prefer
Marrow
to be
just
outside.
ran along with Marrow.
Yeah.
Like Marrow's walking speed is as fast as the cart.
Oh,
Like
bet.
like Marrow can keep pace fine, and then Galahadron last time rode on the roof for fuck's sake. So
That's right. To feel the wind.
yeah.
I would actually. There is something I would report as the cart's getting ready, as everyone's packing up. I would head back in, and I would warn her ladyship about Bloodgarp specifically. I probably wouldn't use his name because that would be weird. How do you just know his name?
How are you warning them? Because as far as they know, you said that you found some gnolls. They know that you killed some gnolls because they found the dead bodies. And you said that it ended peacefully, and they didn't press you beyond that, even though that is a wild thing to say.
Then I think I would
Are you
tell
reopening
Rowan.
that? Okay, you would. Well, Rowan definitely follows you out to the carriage.
Yeah, then I would turn to Rowan.
Okay. I made sure that you guys have hot meal. What do you? What is there something else you need?
I'm gonna like clasp his forearm in like the warrior way. I don't know why I say it like that, but like, and I would look at him directly in his eyes and be like, "You cannot ask me questions about this, but know that there is the one who leads this larger army. He is different than the gnolls we have seen so far.
He's
Worse.
different.
She's different. They're different. I don't remember.
All the gnolls in leadership positions are female.
Cool.
This is above table. Correct me on that if I ever get it wrong, but they are all female. I have made this decision for Gnoll Society.
Blood Gargle is the girl boss.
Yes.
And she's gatekeeping the Knoll lands.
It's
Yeah.
unfortunately the Gnolls version of girl bossing is all just manslaughter. So
Doesn't start with a G though. That doesn't.
it doesn't. They don't care. They're Gnoll. Well, actually, they're Gnolls, so manslaughter does begin with a G. It's just silent.
Command slaughter.
Manslaughter. But yeah, I would look at him and be like, "You cannot ask me how I know this." But the one who is leading the larger army, she is worse than anything that we have seen yet. She's different. She's more bloodthirsty, which is saying something.
Go ahead and make a persuasion check.
Can Galahadrian help?
No,
Oh,
I was
okay.
good. Galahad was yelling about girl bossing back
I
there.
was yelling
No.
about girl bossing, so.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, well the DC was 5, so Rowan just nods and is like, understood. Not sure what else you would need from us besides sending the forces that we have, but let us know. We've already sent a messenger hawk forward to the princess. She should be aware as well, so.
I need you all to stay as safe as we can in these times, in our positions.
It's a good thing you didn't say that in front of my mother. She would have dueled you.
And I would have
He,
enjoyed it.
yeah,
But
he smiles and he's like, don't forget to keep yourself safe as well.
I will do what I can. And I will squeeze his arm, and then I will step up to the carriage.
He nods or steps back, lets you all go, sees you off, and then turns back to, get his own shit together for
Wow,
whatever
I think
comes
he
next.
likes you, Eileena.
Hmm?
I think he likes you. I've been observing.
He does like me.
The way
This I
you
know.
did that warrior arm grasp, it was not platonic.
It's platonic on my end.
It wasn't.
Galahadrian's going to go home and write fan fiction.
Yeah, Galahadrian, go ahead and make an insight check.
Oh, all right. I mean, I saw the. I'm
Yeah.
finding it. I saw the arm
Oh,
thing.
he is madly in love with her.
Yes. I can tell by the sandwiches.
Yeah. All right. Is there anything that you guys would want to do or discuss or whatever immediately before leaving Falnoor? Because you have you can linger as long as you want, but the carriage is ready to go. Is there anything you guys want to do at Falnoor or on the trip to Fort Andrim?
Do we have playing cards in this world?
Probably some version of them. Yeah.
Oh, I'd like some playing cards for the journey.
One of the guards just sort of looks at you and just pulls like a really worn set out of their pocket and just gives it to
Nice.
you.
Thanks. I almost whisper, "I'm in your debt," but then I'm like, oh, I can't make. Hmm, hmm.
Yeah, they sort of smile at you wryly and they're like, "Oh, that's great. Oh, if a really pretty person asked me for some cards," and they just gave you theirs immediately. There's no questions asked. Yeah, you guys take off. Abel and Alina, would you both make me history checks?
History checks. Boom. I've lost my history. There it is.
There you go. Okay. Alina, I will say that you have at least heard of the person in charge of Fort Andrim. You've never met them. Abel, you've never heard of them.
Why would
They
I pay
are
attention to that?
Count. Yeah, they are not Count Castellan Sar von Varrock. As you travel, it takes 4 days by carriage to reach Fort Andrim. You're able to travel on the road, travel pretty fast. You arrive there, and the fort is, as much with Falnoor, a buzz of activity. Troops are being called in from neighboring regions to sort of muster at the fort, in addition to its own garrison. As you arrive, you are quickly sort of spotted, asked, to identify yourselves, and as soon as you do, you are brought to the keep of the fort to meet with the princess and the Castellan. As you enter the war room here, it's much smaller than the war room in Falnoor is like a proper castle. It is the home of a marquis. This is like it's like Abel's house. It is a keep. It is small. It is the size of Abel's
Subtle big.
castle. It is completely different in appearance. It is Spartan. It is everything has a purpose. Everything has a place. There's no art. There's no tapestries. The most decoration you see are some maybe like furs or animal heads like on the walls and such. Uh, the windows are plain and built more for letting in as much light as will be permitted for defense. The walls on the outside, as you pass through the gates, are scarred with flames and mortared in cracks from multiple assaults. This is a place that has actually seen frequent common conflict. As you're led into the war room, the princess is standing there with her, with some guards from House Alenthe who have been lent to her, as well as one of the older orcs you've seen. Very tall, very built, even like just old man, wiry strength. Like there's no more fat or anything left in his body. It is just bones and muscle and skin, but still an absurd amount. He looks to be like in his early 70s. Uh, Behind, at the table next to him, just like leaned up within hand's reach, is a large, well-worn battle axe that he apparently keeps by just in case, and is allowed to do so even in the presence of the princess. Standing just behind him is probably the youngest elf that you guys, the youngest high elf that you guys have seen. She has red hair. Uh, you almost, I think that for Alina and Abel, the main thing that you guys have associated with high elves, like growing up, is they're usually very old and very well dressed, like middle aged, but like high elves are supposed to be older, distinguished, well dressed. They're wizards, all this, and it's easy to tell a high elf from a wood elf because wood elves are less pretentious. They're from the woods. They come in a variety of ages. A lot of them are very young because their oldest people, died when they were driven out of their homeland. So age and like how they physically look is usually a very good determinant around whether somebody is a wood elf or a high elf. You initially think, oh, this is a wood elf, and then you realize they are dressed like a high elf and that it is just a young high elf, which I don't think any of you have met high elves who are under 100. And
Does she
she is
have a
just,
hat?
she
That
does
is
not
very
have a
young.
hat, no.
Where's the art?
That's a teenage
Uh,
high elf right there.
Very much. Let me get the tokens. I didn't have splash art, but I think I do have tokens. Nope. Well, I fucked that up.
No, drop that back. What was that? I want to see it again.
It was the wrong art. It was literally I went to edit a. I was supposed to edit the token, and I didn't edit the token. Wow, it's not editing the token. What the fuck is going on? What the hell is going on there? I don't know.
Version 13's working out well.
It is. It's working out great. I think this might actually be something to do with more with the Flea Mortals thing. than anything else, because I haven't tried to edit Flea Mortals images yet, so I will just paste the art for the girl. Give me 1 sec. This is Aventicuum, this is Aventicuum. There's the high elf.
She's cute.
Alright, and then of course the orc, dressed in like armor and and stuff, decorated because he's distinguished. Also covered in scars, just lousy with them.
Also, crazy cod piece on that man.
Yeah, he's
I
earned
don't know
it.
if that's PC to say.
Yeah. And sort of as you all come in, the princess just sort of looks up and is like, "Ah, Alina, that was quick. See, you have your whole warband there. Were you successful?"
We were, my lady.
Good. Oh, sorry, my manners. Please let me introduce Castellan Sar van Varrock and his wife, Lady Pyrrha Ashwind. The Castellan just sort of looks at you. Pyrrha does a very polite curtsy. The princess is like, "These are the knight that I was telling you about, Sir Alina Catala, and her warband, the Knights Temporal." The Castellan just sort of looks over you all. It's like, "If you're all capable fighters."
The elf isn't Puck in disguise again, right? This isn't like a wedding that just happened and it's Puck the whole time, right?
Do you
Can
want
I
to
look?
use a check or
Insight
or
check.
use an ability or something? Like, what do you
Uh,
want to do?
can my divine sense the Fae? I can't remember.
Think you have your features. Let's see here. Divine sense.
Fiend or undead? No, it does not.
I will save it for you. It can sense Fey. That just makes sense.
Okay, that's what I would like to do just to check, just to be sure.
Uh, there is one Fey in this room. It is Gus.
It is
Is Gus?
Gus is Fae. High five, Gus.
Interesting.
Nice.
Do you say Gus's Fae out loud?
I high five Gus.
You crush Gus. Gus is. No, I'm kidding. Gus is again a low poly sparrow. He is not capable of high fiving and surviving.
I know how to give gentle high fives.
Okay, yeah. Gus returns it. Sticks out a wing.
Wow.
All right.
Everyone stares at you very confused.
Do they? Who here has not high fived a sparrow?
A poly sparrow that is tied to my essence? Pretty much everyone has not high fived that sparrow.
I would be shocked if this is the first time Galahadron's high. Like, I know we haven't said it in character, but just with Galahadron's personality, just... oh.
Sure, but I sort of imagine it's the same as the friend that came from Europe and does the double kiss cheek that
Oh,
lives
yeah.
in America, and everyone's just like, okay.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Who here hasn't double kissed cheeked a sparrow?
The sparrow
Nope.
tied to my essence, I would imagine pretty much everyone has not double kiss cheek the sparrow.
Poor Gus.
I will say he is made from your essence, but the difference between Little Gus and Big Gus is Little Gus is actually like a creature. So
True.
you did make it. You did make it, but it is not the same as like if something happens to you, Gus will probably still survive. So
Horrifying.
Maybe
Yeah.
a part of you was Fae.
That is very important. Do you say that Gus is Fae, or do you keep that to yourself?
Well, okay, I'll roll a wisdom check, and if it's below 10, I'll say it out loud. An ability check, please. Normal. No, I think that it would be wiser not to, and I will tell you later.
Okay.
And when we're not in the company of strangers, because I don't know how, maybe it's a heresy for someone's low poly sparrow to be Fae, right? I don't want to step on any toes, So I don't say it. I think about it, and then I don't say it.
All right. Uh, yeah, the Castellan just sort of points to a chair for Alina to take. Look around at the rest of you. Uh, yeah, just sort of takes you all in. Very very critically, just like watching you all over. Stops at Marrow a bit, sort of like sneers, and it's like, uh, is that the beast that you told me about? This Marrow?
You told him about the beast?
I did, the princess. Sorry, I
I
didn't
didn't
want
say no.
to.
That was me. That was me asking you, Lev.
Oh,
Because
well,
there was a
the princess probably, yeah, the princess probably like had to warn him because Marrow is, Marrow.
It sounded like he was addressing the princess with that statement, which is why I think
all right.
nobody
I
Yes,
was
responded.
yeah.
there was a weird pause in my brain. I was just like, he was talking to us, and I wasn't paying attention.
It was kind of he wasn't looking at the princess when he said it. He's just looking at Marrow, but kind of just like, what is this thing that they have brought into my castle while there's gnolls at the gate? Sort of question.
Yes.
Yes, no, that is Sir Marrow. We assure you, they are a valuable member of the warband. Uh, Alina, report.
I don't want to say it all again. I will report succinctly what has happened.
Go ahead and
Would you
roleplay that.
would you say any more or less than what you told the Violenthes?
In front of the man I don't know, I probably wouldn't say. I probably would say we defeated the gnolls, and I
Okay.
wouldn't say about anything about a peaceful resolution.
Okay.
Um,
I think the two other points would be Iron Wolves and Heresy, and I guess Ghost.
I don't know this
Who
man, but I know the princess, and I would tell her.
Okay. Yeah.
who are we planning on eventually giving the notes to? Because we do have the notes. But I guess that
No
would be
one.
a
I
question for
intend
the
to study these
princess.
fuckers and figure out what happened to me.
I currently the what I'm leaving everyone with the assumption with is that we destroyed the lab, which is true.
Okay.
I've said nothing about notes, and no one has asked about notes.
Okay.
I'm just leaving it as we destroyed the lab. We can figure out what we want to do with the notes in
I
a
love
second.
they're technically true.
Listen, I'm going off you. I'm telling the truth.
High five.
See, now that is
Um,
normal.
Also say, because
but
we kind of fast forwarded through it last time. Aside from what you needed to do to destroy Kiona, did you guys like further like ransack the laboratory before you left, or did you burned the bodies at the front and you destroyed the big mechanism and you took the crystal experimentation? Was
Uh,
there anything else that you guys did before leaving to like?
if I could collapse the tunnels, I would.
yeah, that's what I said.
Would
Let's
you?
destroy it, and then we.
Like I will give you guys some flashback things to if you could conceive of a way to do that, let me know and we can make rolls to see how successful it was.
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have explosives on me.
That's a you question.
Yeah, let me look.
Is also you have explosives for like small bombs. Like how much explosives do you have? This is a big library. And the tunnel was specifically like there was a like hole torn in the top of it, but the tunnel was metal.
Yeah, I have 4 simple explosives. That's probably not going to do it.
No.
Um, well, I guess so. There was the lab. We've thoroughly wrecked
Mhm.
that. Um,
Easy to destroy all the containment devices in the orrery in the middle.
yeah. What about the goop? Is there anything we could have done to the goop?
There was a lot of it.
There was a lot of goop. Could I make like an alchemy check to try and like denature it?
Go ahead and make an alchemy check just to see how much you understand about what it is.
Okay. Looks like I have to roll that from here. Can somebody help me, or am I on my own?
What are
Yeah.
you rolling?
Yeah, somebody can help you.
Okay.
Probably denatured is like there's not really much you can mix with it. This is as far as you're able to put together from all the stuff that you've learned. This is like congealed life essence. Like it's probably not too like you recognize it as like this is it could be like healing potion gone wrong, but also you're worried that if you tried to turn this into a healing potion and did it wrong, it would just horribly mutate whatever ingested it. So that thought like comes in your head and then goes out immediately.
I mean, it did also go in my head when you said it was life essence. I was like, ooh, can I
Yes,
harvest it?
yeah.
No,
You
no,
you could you
bad
could
idea.
try if you wanted to. It would be risky. You got high enough to know that it's possible, but risky. Uh,
Go for it.
Alchemically, the only thing that really comes to mind for like you don't have enough of any liquid to change like chemically change whatever this pool is. It's a massive pool of it. Uh, that you can probably guess is like it probably the base of it was probably the liquefied bodies of all these god parts, but there's definitely been some more mundane sources tossed into the mix. Uh, and you've already seen that when this thing is like left alone to just like rot and fester, it turns into trolls. Uh,
So
the
fire.
only thing, yeah, fire is probably the only thing that comes to mind that you have ready access to, and by ready access to I mean Phelan.
I mean,
Yeah.
fire seems like a good go, right? Like,
I believe my words were burn it.
yeah,
Yeah,
Burn this place
that's
to the
that's
ground.
yeah, you can certainly, yeah. You can even like take multiple short rests, and Phelan can just it'll take a little bit, but it wouldn't add much to it wouldn't like change the day that you arrive here at the fort.
right.
So okay, so fast forward again. Uh, you burned the thing. Do you tell her that you like burned it? Do you tell her? Do you tell her much about the lab? Do you tell her about the Iron Wolves? And if you tell her much about the lab, what do you leave out? And this is all to
Uh,
set the DC for your persuasion check.
I left out the peaceful negotiations with the Knolls because
Yep,
I don't
yep.
think this guy would
That's already going
understand
to be
it.
tricky. Yeah.
That is something I would tell her in private.
Okay.
Um, we destroyed the lab. I would report about that. It's important. I wouldn't report about the Iron Wolves. I would report
You wouldn't or
about
would about the Iron
wood.
Wolves?
Wood.
Would about the Iron Wolves. Okay. Everything about them that you came to blows and had to drive one of them off and all that.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh, and anything
And
about the ghost, the blood pool.
maybe not the blood. I would say that there was to sort of condone my actions with the Iron Wolves. I would explain that they were trying to get their hands on some heresy that we found. The heresy has been taken care of.
I feel like talking about the ghost is the best way to say that it was probably heresy.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I would explain the ghost.
The Castellan sighs is like, she was always a bit of a piece of work. Yeah, that's as much as he comments on that. The princess just sort of looks at him and is just like, oh, well, that is a lot more than I expected when I sent you to retrieve that. It sounds like the dangers have been stopped, and hopefully sometime in the future, Osberg might be recapturable. She's like asks you guys for your opinion on that kind of.
Is Asperg the name of the city that we were
Hadron's
under?
shaking his head no.
Then I
mean-
sincerely doubt it.
I mean, if you take care of the gnolls, then it should be. Right? I don't think there's any
That's where
more.
all the answers start. Take care of the damn gnolls.
Yeah.
Ulven, and did you spot any further movements for this gnoll army headed south?
I know. That I would report what we know about the army.
But
Maybe
like,
not her name, but
You could just
Okay.
say we saw signs of lots of recent movement through the area, like a large army had passed through recently. That's probably good enough to explain how we know
Okay.
and communicate what they need to know.
Okay, that because you guys didn't see any signs of it yourself. You saw, quote unquote, from Squeeb, a small, pack of gnolls. And I do need to emphasize, Squeeb was certain this is a small pack. Everybody else has been talking about a large army, so just keep that scale in mind. If you are saying that you saw evidence, and that's what you're saying, like this army is more dangerous, I would need a deception instead of a persuasion. And this would need to be Alina rolling it because Alina's giving the report.
I mean, we got told by the shaman, right, that it was a big army. So like we know that there
Yes.
is a big army heading south.
But if you are adding that these, like any of the information of like these gnolls are worse than other ones, that is
I will not
information.
be yet.
Okay. All right, then just make a persuasion for all the stuff that you said and all the stuff that you left out. Gonna say the DC for this is 17.
Do I get advantage?
Abel
From
can give
Abel.
you advantage. Yeah.
Ooh.
I don't know why I rolled it like that, but here we are.
Well, that's roll 2d2, keep highest. You just rolled a 2 and a 4.
I know, I just don't like it.
KH. Got it.
Amelia just sort of looks. Amelia can tell that you are holding something back, but she is not going to call you out in present company. Varuk sort of looks between you and looks at like Abel, who was kind of coaching you through all that a bit as like your second, and is just like, "What's about you? What's your name? You don't look like much of a fighter."
Who, me?
What do you mean?
Yeah.
I'm Sir Abel Whitewater. I'm one of Eilena's assistants.
And I want to add,
Whitewater.
he didn't know talking to me, but a very good fighter. Stands on the front rank,
Yes,
goes toe to toe.
Yes, you're definitely a good fighter. Oh,
He called you not a good fighter. I'm saying you were very heroic. You tanked the thing.
I mean, I did what I had to, you know. Anyway, you were saying?
Said Whitewater.
That's right.
Any relation to Sir Isabella Whitewater?
That's right.
He sort of holds up an arm, rolls back a sleeve, and runs a finger along one of his many crisscrossing stars, but just draws a line on like his bicep for just like a very large white scar on his sort of skin.
She did that?
Yeah, stood as a representative for some fat weasel who didn't know anything about warfare. Tried to speak up in a meeting.
Ah, that would be my uncle, probably. He's,
He wasn't worth remembering.
well, you can forget him even more because he's dead now.
Good. How is did you say that that's your sister?
I didn't specifically, but I would, yeah.
Yeah. How's she doing? Good promise.
Dead.
Shame.
A lot
Anyways.
of that going around.
A lot of that going around, yeah.
Yep. He just Spares like a little moment of just like, damn. Anyways, these gnolls. Just doesn't skip a feed. It's just like, hey, this was somebody that was worth me remembering. How's they doing? They're dead. It happens.
No longer remembered.
So, Princess, we should have. It'll take us a few more days to get troops ready, and from what our scouts say, Karagard's probably going to be attacked before we can even march out of here. The princess just sort of sighs and is like, and do we know what House Esden's forces are looking like? And Vuruk scoffs and is like, not enough.
Not Legion. Legion is bigger. What is it? A troop? No, bigger than a troop. Squadron.
Smaller than a troop, but go on.
I don't know sizes. Help.
What are you trying to communicate?
The number of men that we are pulling from.
Oh, you could tell them. Rowan basically told you that they already sent a hawk and told Amelia how much they're
Well,
sending.
then, yeah.
Like they were waiting for. They had to wait for either Amelia to respond, which would take a while by hawk, or for you to give them the go ahead. They were already mobilizing, but you like released theirs, so they know.
They
you
know.
Can
That's
you
what
can
matters.
yeah you and they if there was anything they wanted you to tell her, they would have told you. You pass that information along. She's like, they'll take probably more than a week to get here for reinforcements. If we emptied the keep and put them at Kiergaard, and Varuk just sort of looks at her as like, I'm not emptying this keep. I wish to assist you for the betterment of both my current kingdom and my former one, but I am not emptying this keep. Not unless my lord commands it. And you know that he is sworn to the Marquis of the Eastern sort of stuff. He is not under House Olenthe, which means he is not like directly working for. It's complicated, but he doesn't necessarily need to listen to the princess if he doesn't want to. She sort of sighs a bit and is like, well, how much do we think Rothram knows for this threat? And he's like, if I were the Knolls, I would be having forward scouts to take out any enemy's scouts that might be seeing our approach. Judging from our reports, we've probably lost a few of our own, but have still gotten lucky enough that they can't conceal the end of such a force. We know. Can't guarantee Lothram does. The princess just sort of looks at you, Alina. Your recommendations, Sir Katala?
Guys, can we retcon like this whole campaign? I don't want to be the knight anymore.
I mean,
Uh,
attacking a
switch me.
besieging force from behind is a very common medieval strategy.
Kevin. This is why I have advisors. This is why I have specifically
I did not
turned.
make an
Speak up.
advisor
That is kind of
character.
Abel's job to speak up. Like that is.
This is why I have Jack specifically. I
not
will
make an
gesture
advisor.
to Abel.
So,
yeah, Abel, do you want to put forward? Yeah.
yeah, well, we've got a couple of options. I assume you've already dispatched messengers to Fort Kiergaard to try and warn them. But if we want to try and give them more time, if we have something that might attract the Horde's attention away from the fort, that might allow us to pick a battle at a time and a place of our choosing. Failing that, letting them descend on Fort Kiergaard and taking them from behind could also be advantageous, catch them between the hammer and the anvil. We just have to make sure that we do it with sufficient force.
You'd also need Lothram's approval, otherwise that's an invasion. I know that they do things differently in the west of Colmar, of course.
What do the
Not many
Nulls'
gnolls
supply
out that
lines?
way, mostly just starving farmers.
What do the Nulls' supply lines look like? If they're assaulting Fort Kiergaard, perhaps we can get behind them in Null territory.
Sort of looks around. Never really had much luck with gnoll supply lines. They seem to just eat whatever's around them.
Hmm.
Usually they can resupply themselves after a battle if we take too many losses.
Yeah, I was afraid you would say that. Hmm.
Way I see it, you've got two options. You can either take our force, wait for the gnolls to hit Kiergaard, come around from behind, say that we're keeping ourselves in gnoll territory, and try and fight the force off there, and hopefully ask for Lothrum's forgiveness. Not sure that's going to look with your fancy court politics, that we sent an army in unrequested into another kingdom's lands. Or you can try and risk running in front of the Gnoll army and getting to Kiergaard before they do, warning them and getting permission, sending word back, and I'll take my army in. Take us a few days to get there. Guess third, you could just go running at the army yourselves, see how good that does. Apparently you're good at killing things, from what I hear.
Hmm. Not
Cleared out a whole monster-infested city.
not quite that good, I would think. Um, well, the they are expecting the princess at Fort Kiergaard, right?
They are.
And she's obviously not expected to travel without an honor guard, yes?
Oh no, you'd all be allowed to go. Just whether or not the princess wants to put herself in front of a Gnoll army
Well,
against a fort that's almost certainly going to fall.
the question is there a was there ever stated to be a limit on how big the princess's guard could be?
The princess just sort of looks at you and is like, go ahead and give a persuasion roll on that one. The Castellan starts laughing. His wife behind him just kind of like smiles and chuckles a bit. The princess is like, no, 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 that could work. That could work. We could take. Would you be willing to lend your forces to me as an honor guard? And he's like, for the bulls that he has, I can give you some troops, yeah. Not going to empty my fort for him, but should be able to assemble a defensive force in the time between takes me to send out my own house with you.
Yes, I mean, we do know that there's a Dole army in the area. It would be remiss to have an honor guard that was not able to fight off such a force.
Sometimes politics aren't all bad. User looks at the princess. Is like, if those are your orders, you request an honor guard from House Varric. And she's like, I believe I do. All right then, can have them ready in the morning. Still gonna need, unless these guys can kill a whole bunch of gnolls themselves, though, it's probably just going to be enough to stem the tide until more reinforcements from Falnoor and the surrounding areas get here.
By that time, we should have permission.
Good. Alright, well, unless there's anything else, get out of my war room. I gotta prepare. And he, like, says this to the princess, too. Just no fucks given. She bows politely. Behind her, the elf just, like, gives her an apologetic smile and curtsy. And is like, Your Highness, here, let me show you to your quarters, where you can spend the night. or let me show your warband to their quarters where they can spend the night. Have a good rest. I'm sure they got here quickly. And she leads all of you out while the Castellan starts calling in his officers and just coordinating everything, deciding who's going to go with you and who's going to stay. You leave the room, the door closes. The elf just sort of sighs, looks over at you, Abe, and it's like, that was a very clever way to convince my husband. You are very good at your job, Sir Whitewater.
Uh, Thank you. Your compliments are most appreciated. He seems like a good man.
He has his moments when he's not challenging people to duels.
There's a lot of that going
Uh,
around.
She sort of looks at you quizzingly, of just like not sure what you mean by that.
Oh, we were just at Falnoor, so.
Are there many? Did you insult anyone at House Olenthe's honor?
No, Lady Linthe
A
just,
note for Abel: duels are not
oh,
sparring.
okay.
Duels are like what
Never mind.
Galahadran tried to do for your uncle. Of like, you have pissed me
Okay.
off. I am going to. Yeah.
I see. Okay.
No, my lord, it was sparring.
Yeah. I don't think Abel would understand the difference, so that's definitely in character.
That's why Alina would step in.
Yeah. She's like, yes, sparring. No, he's. He used to do that more. Unfortunately, as he often complains, he is getting old. But what can you do? Yeah, your quarters, and leads you to some pretty sparse, like they're barracks. There's one room for the princess, one room for Alina that is much smaller but still her own room, and then just like a 3 bunk bed and nothing else room for the rest of you guys. Uh, Unfortunately, these are our best quarters. I hope they've well, you only have to spend a night in there. Apologies. Is there anything that we can get you for the night? I'm sure that you're very tired.
No, I would only like to speak to Your Highness. You have a moment.
Of course. Well, if you need anything, please let one of the gods know.
Thank you.
And Lady Ashwind will walk away.
Is there a hot springs?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
Would you care for a bath?
Yeah. He looks disappointed.
Yes, we
I
can draw a hot
guess.
bath for you.
All right.
Yes, no, I'll have one prepared. Yeah, and whenever you want one, you can take a hot bath. The princess just sort of calls you into her room, Alina, I guess, and anybody else who wants to follow.
I will go.
All right. Once everybody's there, the princess will sort of turn and it's like, you left something out of your report that both myself and the Castellan noticed. What's wrong?
And I'm gonna fill her in on everything else.
Literally everything else?
Do we want to tell her about the notes?
Mm-mm.
No notes.
So I'm assuming no notes, no Project Genesis. What about them being like the abominations and former gods? Like how there's pretty deep things that happened there. How deep we going?
Definitely about the Knowles, because she knows all that stuff.
You're telling her that you were
Um,
able to peacefully talk with the Knolls?
yes.
Okay.
Um, I'm gonna leave as much of the stuff that directly touches Phelan out as possible, because that's a promise I made him
Appreciate.
forever ago.
And Phelan's there too, so yeah.
Yeah. But I since I'm giving the report.
Gus can always
Um,
start tweeting really loud if you approach a subject that shouldn't be.
Exactly.
nah, Alina made a promise forever ago. I will talk about I don't know how in depth. I will just say on the matter of the laboratory that there are things that we don't understand. More research would have to be done before I can fully state what I think I saw.
Are you recommending that research? Like, how are you phrasing that? Like, is that
That we will be doing. We will be taking.
okay? All right. Uh, I don't think that any of that would require a deception or persuasion, but she kind of nods her head and is like, good. Yes, no, Castellan doesn't need to know all of that. I don't think he wants to know any of that, so it's probably for the best. But this is strange. The Knolls, I would understand if the Knolls were friendly to Marrow, and just looks around in her ignorance is like, dog, same thing, like, but she just sort of looks at, why would they say that, did you tell her that they said that you were blessed by the Hound Mother, or like how much did you tell her about
I
what
mean,
they
she knows
are?
everything about well, other than the Phelan stuff that has happened to this point. So I don't.
You've told, yeah, but have you? I don't think you've told them that anyone said you were blessed by the Hound Mother at this point. I don't think.
Nobody.
And look, correct me if I'm wrong. If you have,
We just found out
No.
about it on this trip, so she wouldn't have had a chance to.
yeah. So are you telling her that part?
Yeah.
Blessed by one of the old gods? And then also to be clear, did you tell her? Are you holding back about the abominations being like fragments of gods?
That directly involves Phelan, so
Okay.
yes.
Okay, holding back on that, which means you're also holding back that you have the legendary essence. I don't know why she'd need to know. Well, she might. And are you telling her about the crystal experimentation that you guys took?
Does it directly involve Phelan in any way?
No.
Then I would tell.
All right. Oh, that. Do you? Now I'm curious of something that it was in the heart of this machinery and suffused with Kiona's soul. Do you still have it with you?
I do.
Might I see it?
Of course.
Right. Sort of looks at it. It's like, oh, that is. It seems like a relic, but not at all. Like a relic, but wrong. Huh. I don't like that. Probably be best to bring that to the Archbishop's Spade. Ugh, no good. Yeah. Doesn't even touch it. Just like, okay, cool. I've seen it. I am good. Like, brushes it off. Well, that is. Do you think that there is a possibility for you, as somebody who is blessed by the Hound Mother, to negotiate with this blood gargle, or did Bone Breather? What was the other? These are absurd names. I
They
didn't even
really
know
are,
that
yeah.
Knowles had
Bone
names.
chewer.
Bone Chewer. Is there any possibility to negotiate with this blood gargle, or just with gnomes in general? Just the possibility of negotiations have never seemed a valid option for us.
I don't think that we could negotiate with the army that's currently heading toward Kiergaard. I guess I assume that my assessment is welcome here.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I think in this instance, the Knolls respect strength, and they expect violence, to put it bluntly. Um, but it might be possible to negotiate with them on a like more like macro level, if that makes sense. Like I think once a Knoll warband is on a rampage, I don't think there's really any stopping it short of violence. But we might be able to negotiate some sort of rules or truce or something if we can show strength. There's definitely
One
there's a possibility there.
one note of something that I don't want to auto include in your tell the princess everything unless you guys say that you did. Did you mention to her that you asked Bone Chewer to send a message to your cousin?
I will not mention that now because my cousin is supposed to be dead.
Okay. All right, because that technically would have been included in everything. So
Yeah.
just wanted to make okay. So you're not letting her know it's like, hey, there are humans in Bloody Hill who are, abandoned the Trinity that we might be able to negotiate with. Like nothing of that.
Um, I think we could probably mention that the shaman said there were humans that lived there among them. So coexistence at least is possible in that sense. Um, I don't
Go
know.
ahead and make a persuasion check, DC 25.
Okay. Is Eilina helping me persuade her?
Yeah.
Ah, so close.
She looks at you like you are out of your goddamn mind.
I mean, it's a long
Perhaps
shot.
we are.
I'm gonna acknowledge that right off the bat.
Knowles,
But it's better than the 0% chance we had before.
of negotiate, they're a blight upon the land. Like Owen's last campaign was to try and drive them out of Aventicuum. They've only returned since the Empire fell and his legacy was lost to us. Like that, our goal should be to exterminate them, not to negotiate with them.
I'm gonna look pointedly at Eilina.
My lady, while we were out, I had another vision.
Oh,
This one was apparently much longer and more detailed than anything I've had before.
okay.
And I would tell her about that.
Oh. So Owen allied with the Hound. Then what happened that he had to strike down the Hound Mother? And you didn't see any gnolls? They're all just people?
Correct.
Ugh.
I think there are things we are missing, and
Oh
we
no,
have.
undoubtedly. Alina, I am a diplomat. I am not a tactician. I am not a theologian. This is a lot, but you are, and I trust your judgment, and I trust Abel's judgment, which means I will caution you all to against recommending to anybody else that we should negotiate for peace with the gnolls.
Oh, absolutely, I agree. This is definitely
You'll,
something that needs to be pursued quietly and
but
extremely
I would
cautiously.
not. I would not say this certainly to the archbishops, and I would not even say this to my grandfather. I would. This is something that your open and honest opinions are safe with me. I've decided to trust you, literally with my life. But I would. That is not an idea that I can even consider condoning. If. Oh boy. This is all a lot. You don't have any qualms about attacking the gnolls from behind or whatever we're doing tomorrow, correct?
Absolutely not. As I said,
Alright,
once the
good.
warband is on the move, I don't think there's any stopping them. It's
Okay.
making sure they don't get started and figuring out what the heck happened between the Trinity and the Hound Mother.
I thought that the hardest thing that I had to do was convince another nation to join Bosma through marriage. And it seems that, Alina, you might have an even
Psych.
harder task ahead of you.
I'm
What was
afraid
that
so, my
feeling?
lady.
Nothing. Nothing.
Oh, all right. All right. But yeah, she seems mentally exhausted from that, and is just like, well, unless there's any other revelations you wish to share with me, I think that it is best if I turn in and see you all in the morning.
Have a good night, my lady.
Thank you. And please keep the Iron Star close on you, Alina, just in case. I don't want anything else to happen to that. That is I hope that we can buy some goodwill by saving Fort Kiergaard, but otherwise that is our main bargaining chip for why we're here.
Yes, ma'am.
Good. That's good. Good night, all. Sort of nods her heads and thanks all of you in turn, and then dismisses you. Is there anything that you guys wanted to do before turning into bed and taking a bath? I guess
How big of a town are we in?
you are in a fort,
So not.
pure
Alright.
military. Yeah.
Then no.
Is there any way I could requisition medical supplies? I am running low on potions and healing.
How are you defining medical supplies?
Healing potions / restorative ointment.
Uh,
I'm willing to pay.
you could probably.
Like,
Uh,
I
they
guess.
do not have many raw materials here. Let me see what the cost for some ointment would be.
I think the ointment is 600 gold to just buy it.
Yeah, and they have they're an army going off into war, and they have enough for the soldier and healing stuff. There are chaplains embedded with the army who do healing through cleric spells and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But in terms of alchemical stuff, that is something that is not mass producible and you have access to because that is your skill that you are good at and you are wealthy enough to afford. In terms of going there for healing ointment and stuff, they have some for their knights that they had to buy in the capital and have shipped in.
Okay.
Can give them a persuasion check to see if they're even willing to entertain the idea of possibly selling some to
I
you.
mean, they're gonna mark them up pretty high, so I imagine even if.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can roll the persuasion just to see if we can get a reasonable offer. Um, I mean, we are
Uh,
escorting the princess.
you are escorting the princess and all this stuff. They're like, well, we would need to reimburse our supplies. I could not,
Of course, yeah.
if 600 gold for one thing of ointment. They sort of
Yeah.
and it's not even a sarcastic thing. They're just like, this is the best I can do, buddy. You are asking a lot,
Yep. Yep.
but you
Nope.
also have a lot of weight behind you. So,
Yep. I'm aware.
yep.
I'm willing to pay. So I will.
Okay.
Uh, why is it? All right. I need to. I don't want to transfer. I want to spend 500 gold. It put all my gold into the platinum. Can I do a...
I mean, it's 60 platinum.
Oh, okay. So that is 249 now that I've got. And I get another thing of restorative ointment. Excellent. Okay. Well, that'll help at least.
Aye, good, good. Yeah.
Okay. That's what I wanted to do. That's probably
Right.
what I end up.
Any? Okay.
What was the insight roll for earlier, Lev?
I mean, I asked for it, and you guys rolled, and I didn't tell you anything, so.
Nothing happened.
Don't worry about it.
I don't...
Yeah.
Galahadrin, I'm so glad I could come back to you. Let me tell you, I was like pulling teeth trying to get them to give me this ointment for a reasonable price. You wouldn't believe the negotiating I had to do.
Did you have to lose teeth?
No, it was just as hard as pulling teeth.
Oh, all right,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I don't know.
What about band-aids?
Band-aids?
Your bandages?
I don't know that I have a mundane first aid kit. I'm not trained in medicine, funnily enough.
You could feed some medical tools to the cube, and then have a second one that you use.
I don't think you need proficiency in healer's kit. I think you can just it would be proficiency in medicine, which, because the tools system is weird in this game, is not the same thing.
Yeah, I'm not proficient in medicine either. Which I should probably fix.
Yeah.
But
You can train for skills, I think. Any other conversations?
Yes, I would like to bring a. I would like to see if there was any like wine, nothing too hard. That I can like a bottle of wine and 2 glasses if I can get my hands on it.
Go ahead and make an investigation check.
I don't have a good to that, but that's fine. 12, not bad.
You look around. The only bottle that you become aware of is one that the princess brought for herself. And as you ask one, she kind of like gives you. It's like,
Cheersies.
well, this is.
This is for
I was
me.
hoping to give this to the Marquis. I
Of
don't
course, my
want to
lady.
be ungrateful. This isn't. The Castellan isn't necessarily known for his taste in wine. It's primarily, beers for the troops and harder liquor for the officers.
That will work too. Do you know where that is?
Yes, and she directs you towards the kitchens. And there's like you just ask for. Well, like, what do you ask for? There's like a big fat orc who's like the head chef in like a very dirty white smock, and he's just preparing rations to like put into a tin. He sort of looks at you and is like,
Excuse me, chef. I was hoping I could convince you to hand off. Beer is fine. I don't know if he drinks beer, but we'll find out. I just need alcohol.
uh, points over towards a wall that is just lined with kegs. With the like, just points to it. Doesn't say anything else.
I am going to fill up 2 mugs,
Okay.
and I'm gonna go find Phelan.
As you walk away, he looks over and is like, "You could have taken a whole keg, but all right." Laughs to himself that you only took two goblets.
She laughs and she goes, I don't want to be too in my cup for tomorrow, but I appreciate it. And she winks and runs off.
All right. Who are you
Phelan, Phelan,
taking
Phelan.
these? Phelan? All right. Where are you guys having these drinks?
Is there like the balcony? Not like,
There's a rampart.
yeah, I'll take him up to the rampart
All right.
and sort of hand him a mug.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What is this?
Is that the first time you killed someone who's more or less innocent? No preamble. She just delved straight into it.
Also, like a week ago at this point.
Yeah, but
Like
we've been
almost 2 weeks ago.
I would assume so. Yes. Yeah, probably.
haven't
I
had
hadn't
much
thought of that.
time to ask you how you were. Been busy. Stressed.
I'm well enough.
I'm gonna roll it and it's gonna suck, but I'm gonna try. Told you.
Going to assume I have to contest that roll.
My 5?
Do not make don't roll a check, just do /roll 1d20.
Me?
Yeah. Because if you roll a check, then it lets her know if it's a deception or persuasion. So just roll 1d20.
Need to put a space betwixt.
Okay, you believe him.
It has been a trying campaign,
That it happened.
and every time we find more answers on where we're going, what we're against, what is happening, we
Who we
find
are.
more questions on what I am.
That's true. Yeah, I mean, you're a god, aren't you?
I think
She
I am,
smiled.
or at least I believe I will be. I don't know what that will end up entailing.
This
Gus lands on the edge of your mug, Phelan, and starts drinking. Just like little bird sips of your beer.
He can have it. Tastes like shit.
it does
It
taste like
does.
shit.
It is terrible.
And Alina takes another swig. It does.
It is beer that is the alcohol kills the germs, otherwise is liquid bread. It is beer for eating.
Ugh.
Blurf.
Yes.
This might be blasphemy to say this, but I also you will be a god. This journey, especially this leg of the journey, has changed my mind about a lot of things. Opened my mind, I guess, is a better term.
I simply wish I had a better understanding of what was happening to me.
Unfortunately, I think this is one of those situations. It sucks, and I'm sorry, and I promise you I will be there every step of the way with you. But I think this is one of the situations where we figure it out as we go along. But I want to make an oath, I guess, to you. I don't want you to ever feel like you have to hide anything from me. I know you've got this whole, like, stoic, I'm an elf from the woods, smolder thing going on. And don't get me wrong, it's great. I love that for you. But I never want you to feel like you need to hide how you're feeling from me. I will never judge you. I will never turn away.
I appreciate that. I don't know if it's all necessarily you that I'm hiding anything from. I think I just prefer to understand things before I make them known to everyone else.
And if you say it, I mean, I believe you. When you say it, I will keep secrets from the others. I don't super love that, but also I made you a promise. Also extends to them. Or at them.
I appreciate it. I don't think I'm at the point of needing you to keep my secrets, though.
It's just an offer. God, this beer sucks.
I don't know why you brought it to me.
I thought maybe it might be okay.
Did you taste it first?
No. Okay, so you have to see their chef. He's kind of scary in like a I don't want to be in a room with him for more than 3 minutes. Listen, I get it. I'm a royal knight. I'm a badass. Cool. I got a little nervous. I panicked a little bit, and I grabbed the first beer I saw. And she
Well,
laughs.
we should find other beer.
Do you go get the beer next time? And she just pours it over the ramp. Like,
I'm gonna let
gross.
Gus finish it.
Uh,
You can
Gus,
have it.
Gus has found a chunk of what looks like bread substance in the beer, and is just kind of like put that off to the side on the railing, and he's just picking at that.
Great
I
stuff.
no. Gross.
Welcome to medieval beers, mate. What'd you think it was? Lager?
It's open. Like a pale
I was
ale.
like, as someone who knows people who
Nope.
make medieval beer, they're all bad.
Yeah.
I mean, the medieval beer made in a fort probably isn't great.
You're just gonna pour your beer over the edge too.
As long as you don't
I
get rid of
hope
Gus's
that
bread.
Gus can have the bread. I hope that landed on someone. Is that petty? I just think
A bit. Yes.
Go ahead, make a perception check.
it's not like malevolent. I just think it's funny. I see nothing.
Oh, son of a bitch! Who's up there?
We gotta go.
Gavin, you whore! Oh, I'm gonna.
Gavin.
Delight.
I will note you've met a lot of people named Gavin in your life. It is a common name.
Don't do this to me.
It's like imagine that you're Jesus come back from the dead and everybody's just like named Matthew. It's like you can't just go, oh, you're my Matthew. It's like, no.
I'm a Matthew.
Yeah. Anything else for that conversation? Or do you take off before the angry guard can recognize that he just had
leave.
beer poured on him by a knight and a wizard?
And a wizard.
Yeah.
Nope, I'm good.
Yeah, you head back. On your way, sort of hurrying back through the castle. Do you guys stick together back to your rooms?
Yeah.
Okay. On your way back, Lady Ashwin sort of comes across and it's like, Sir Katala, and I'm sorry, I did not catch your name.
Phelan.
Phelan.
I don't have a last name.
Oh. She sort of looks you up and down and it's like, are you? Well, I was going to say that it was the first time I've met a wizard who is younger than me, but are you not Imperial? I don't mean to be rude. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. I am not Imperial. No. I was raised in Valden, in one of the
Oh,
outreach programs.
good. I was wondering why we had never met, seeing as how we seem to be more peers and such. But yes, good. Enjoy your stay here. It's welcome to have you. I hope you have a good time. Just awkwardly dismisses herself.
It was a pleasure to meet you as well.
Alina is going to wait until she leaves and then waggle her eyebrows. I hope you
fine.
enjoy your stay, Phelan.
All right. Where's Owen?
My Owen, or Owen as in Galahadrin's Owen, who was not
Your
Owen.
Owen.
Oh, probably, I don't know, gallivanting around. Maybe lost in time? Who knows?
We would be so lucky.
She's cute, though.
She is cute.
I'm just saying.
I will
You
note.
could really enjoy your time.
How do you think she would handle blatant heresy.
Feel like you could be less blatant. You don't have to be.
It's very
You don't
hard
have
to
to
be
bring
less blatant
heresy into
when
the
your
bedroom.
viewpoint is, I'm going to be a god.
Just say you have a god complex and just make it all about.
I'm a wizard. Everyone has a god complex.
See, then it's fine. But I'm just saying,
Also, not a wizard.
you're not a wizard. But I do hope you enjoy your stay.
Thank you. Let's go to bed.
She just giggled. She's just laughing.
Out of character, I did say that is the Castellan's wife, right?
Yeah?
You did
Okay,
say that,
good,
yeah.
good. I just wanted to make sure everybody was aware.
He also seemed gruff and unloving.
The
I
Castellan?
mean,
We've all
you
been gruff
guys
and
don't
unloving
know
before.
anything about him.
Better.
He
He's
could be
just
a
Tweety
very good
behind closed
husband.
doors.
Yeah. But yeah. Any other conversations before you guys go to bed? In which case, we'll probably end it there, so that the next session can start with you guys planning the approach to the battle in 2 weeks. No, we're all good?
Nope. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. All right, so third, we are probably good there.